Level 1. The Candidate. Day 1. 185 men. One beach, and a bell they swear they'll never ring. You show up having trained for this for 2 years minimum, probably more. You ran with weighted vests. You swam in cold water until the cold stopped registering as cold. You maxed every fitness test at Great Lakes, and your recruiter told you you were ready. Your recruiter was not lying. Your recruiter also had no idea what ready actually means here. The first week is designed to show you that everything you brought with you, your strength, your times, your confidence, was built for a different test. This test isn't about how fast you run or how much you can lift. It's about what your mind does when your body has been broken for 4 days straight, and the voice inside your head starts making very reasonable arguments for why stopping is the rational choice. The instructors don't yell at you to make you angry. They yell at you to make you tired in a way that goes deeper than muscle fatigue, the kind of tired that makes every small decision feel enormous, that makes ringing that bell start to seem not just reasonable, but obvious. Hell Week starts Sunday at midnight. 5.5 days, 4 hours of sleep, total, not per night. You will run over 200 miles. You will carry an inflatable boat on your head until the skin wears off your scalp. You will sit in the Pacific Ocean in January, water temperature around 55 degrees, until the shaking in your muscles becomes violent enough that the man beside you thinks you're having a medical event. Sometimes people are having a medical event. By Wednesday, you will hallucinate. This is documented, expected, and the instructors have seen it enough times that they can tell the difference between a dangerous hallucination and a manageable one. The man in your boat crew will hold a full conversation with someone who isn't there. You will watch him do it and understand, in a specific way you can't explain, exactly what he's experiencing. 75% of your class quits during Hell Week. The ones who make it through are not tougher than the ones who didn't. Some of the men who ring that bell are objectively more physically capable than some of the men who don't. The difference isn't muscle. It's the specific, quieter thing that happens when your mind tells you to stop, and you find, not bravely, not dramatically, just functionally, that you aren't going to listen. You don't listen. You come out the other side of Hell Week into something that feels less like victory and more like a new definition of what you're capable of, which is the point. The instructors needed to know it. More importantly, you needed to know it. The bell didn't ring for you. That matters more than anything that comes next. Level 2. The new guy. You have the trident. You are nothing. This is correct. 26 more weeks after BUD/S, combat diving, parachute operations, land warfare, demolitions. When it's all done, they press a gold pin into your chest, an eagle clutching a trident, an anchor, a flintlock pistol, and you stand there thinking this is the beginning, which it is, and you are completely unprepared for what the beginning actually looks like. You report to your first team and you are the new guy, which means you carry the heaviest gear on every operation, you clean weapons that aren't yours, and you say almost nothing unless directly asked, because the men around you have done things you haven't, and saying things from inside your inexperience would announce that inexperience to people who already know it. Your platoon chief is an E7 with 12 years in the teams. He can read terrain the way most people read a newspaper. He can tell from the way a dog is barking at the edge of a village whether what's ahead is empty or occupied. You think he's exaggerating this capability until the night the dog barks wrong and the compound opens up with automatic fire. He wasn't exaggerating. Your first firefight lasts 11 minutes. It feels like 11 hours. Rounds snap past you, not the crack from movies, a miniature sonic boom from something moving fast enough to kill you if you'd been 6 inches to the left. And you discover that the gap between training for this and being in it is wider than any briefing prepared you for. Your hands shake for 20 minutes after. The chief sees it. He says nothing. He's not being callous. His hands shook once too. Around the 3rd deployment, they stop. He's just waiting for you to get to the 3rd deployment. That's also around the time you stop calling home every night. Not because you don't want to, because talking to your family starts feeling like translation. You're operating in a language that doesn't have a civilian equivalent and trying to bridge it over a satellite phone connection while they tell you about the weather and the dog and whether your sister's boyfriend is decent. And the distance between those two worlds starts to feel like something more permanent than geography. You don't tell them this. You tell them you're fine. They believe you because they want to. You let them believe it because the alternative requires explanations you can't give. Level 3. The operator. Third deployment. You're good at this now. That's not entirely a comfortable thing to be. 2 deployments in and you have the rhythm. The 18-month workup cycle before each 6-month deployment. The thousands of rounds per week on the range until reloading becomes something your hands do without involving your brain. The rehearsals, the briefings, the gear checks, the specific tedium of preparing for violence with the thoroughness of people who understand what happens when the preparation is incomplete. You've specialized. Every SEAL finds a skill set that becomes their identity within the platoon. You're the breacher, the man who opens doors. Sometimes with explosives, sometimes with a ram, sometimes with a shotgun loaded with specialty rounds. You know how much C4 it takes to blow a hinge without killing everyone on the other side. The answer depends on the door, the frame, the material, the standoff distance. Getting it wrong is not something people survive. You do not get it wrong. The third deployment changes you in a specific, identifiable way. Your team extracts a high-value target. Intelligence says he's alone. He isn't. There's a woman and 2 children in the back room. The target pulls one of the children in front of him while reaching for a weapon. Your teammate takes the shot because the geometry of the situation has eliminated every other option. The round passes inches from the child's head. The child is physically unharmed. You think about that word, physically, for months afterward, the qualifier that does a lot of work. You think about what unharmed means when the definition gets that specific. The work continues. Different country, different language, same mission. The men beside you rotate, injured, promoted, separated. You get better at violence and notice without being able to do much about it that you're getting worse at some other things. You can clear a room in 3 seconds, and you can't sit through dinner at a restaurant without cataloging every entrance and every face. Your girlfriend asks if you're okay. You say yes. What you mean is, yes, by the standards of what I am now, which are different from the standards you're using, and explaining that difference would take longer than either of us has tonight. Level 4. The Chief. E7. The most important rank in the teams. Everyone will tell you this. They're right. Officers plan operations. Chiefs make them work. Ask anyone who's been in the teams long enough and they'll say some version of this, and they'll mean it. You are the platoon chief, 16 men. Your platoon commander is a lieutenant, 4 years younger and a decade of experience behind you, smart and motivated and genuinely capable. And you both understand, without it being said directly, how this relationship functions. He sets the direction, you make it executable. When his plan has a problem, you tell him before it becomes a problem in the field. When he makes a call you think is wrong, you say so once, clearly, and then you execute it. This is not complicated. It's just the way the teams work when they work. Your body is starting to document the career. Knees that creak from years of parachute landings. A back that registers altitude and cold in ways it didn't 5 years ago. Left side hearing loss from a breaching charge that detonated closer than it should have. The corpsman knows about all of it. The corpsman knows about everyone's everything. The corpsman also knows that everyone tells him they're fine, and that fine in SEAL teams means functional rather than healthy, and that he's keeping a running tally of damage that will matter when the VA comes into it someday. You tape your ankles, you take ibuprofen, you tell the corpsman you're fine. You are managing men now in a way that requires you to see things about them that they can't see about themselves. The operator who's getting too aggressive, pressing too hard, making decisions that are sharp rather than considered. The younger guy who's technically exceptional but freezes for a half second when things go sideways. You address these things in the conversations after the debrief, in the sidewalk moments between the range and the vehicles, and the specific way this culture transfers information between people who don't talk about feelings directly but communicate anyway. You have been to enough memorials to understand what the chief's job actually is. It is not tactical. It is human. It is keeping these men alive long enough to become the chiefs who keep the next generation alive. Level 5, Master Chief. 20 years in. The funerals are getting heavier, not lighter. You're running training cycles for multiple platoons now. The operational picture is broader. You're in tactical operations centers watching drone feeds of raids you would have led a decade ago, and you feel something unexpected. Not pride exactly, not envy exactly, something in between that doesn't have a clean name. 4 suicides in your extended community in the last 2 years. One was a man you mentored. You taught him wind calls for long-range shooting. You stood beside him at his wedding. You spoke to him on the phone 3 weeks before he died, and he sounded fine. He laughed about something his kid had done, and you told him you'd see him at the range next month. You believed him because believing was easier than asking the questions that would have required you to do something if the answers came back wrong. You attend the memorial. His mother looks at you in a way that isn't accusatory, but contains something that accusation would be simpler than. You don't have anything to give her that would be adequate. You show up because showing up is what you do. It has always been what you do. You are not sure it was enough this time. 20 years of this career and the combat losses have an architecture, tragic, documented, honored. The losses that come in the quiet months after, in the civilian life that doesn't fit the way the teams did, in the silence that replaces the purpose, those have a different weight. You have been trying to figure out how to address it systemically and finding that systems don't easily reach the specific interior landscape of a man who learned to function inside extreme stress and is now drowning in its absence. You keep attending the funerals. You keep mentoring the young operators who call at odd hours. You tell them the Trident is the most important thing they'll ever earn and the most dangerous thing they'll ever carry if they let it become the only thing they are. Some of them hear it. You keep saying it anyway. If this kind of story is what you're here for, subscribe. It helps more than you'd think. Drop a comment if something here landed.